Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Held Dominance Anthony here. Please remember to like and subscribe, and also click that notification bell if you're enjoying what you're seeing and want to see more. Oh, and when you've done all that, share the video worldwide. Coming up, a huge sponsor reveal from the NARL, a review of a Super League game that was played, and a roundup of the North and South Betfred Women's Super League games that were played over the weekend. Now, I wonder why I have brought this logo out. Well, they're still doing things, going about business, getting ready to start the season. And you know when it's going to be committed that they're going to do a proper season is when... Let's see how many people know what the other logo is. Well, now I'm not gonna do that to you, as I know what it is, because they sponsor my football team for 3 of the last 4 years. So they are together now. This is Italian sportswear giant Macron. They were initially a skiing equipment company for the thermals and heavy jackets and things like that. And because they're in Bologna, they moved into football and sponsored them. They do bespoke kits and for all soccer teams, and they moved on to rugby union. They are currently the sponsors of the Spanish team. Sorry, not the Spanish team, the Scottish team. So Macron and the North American Rugby League have announced a partnership ready for 2022. And the statement goes, North American Rugby League are delighted to announce the exciting new partnership with Italian technical sportswear provider Macron. Macron will supply the North American Rugby League staff and the team's official kits and training wear from July the 5th, 2021. The global sportswear brand has formed partnerships with Italy, Wales and Scotland Rugby Union international teams, along with partnering with the Parramatta Eels in the NRL. NRL Chief Operating Officer Robert Curtis said, "We are pleased to welcome Macron into the NRL family, and we are proud to wear the hero logo on our 2021 uniforms and training ranges. Macron is well known for its quality of their products, and we look forward to the ranges that are on sale immediately. All NARL teams will wear Macron kits and apparel for upcoming games that will be announced and confirmed in the coming weeks." So this is an announcement that I've not heard before this announcement today. The Macron support being the official suppliers of all the rugby league teams in the North American Rugby League, and they made it a point that it was all teams, East and West. The last bit I did hear before, friendly game, as they are saying that the July the 31st there will be some friendly games. And I'm led to believe that one of those friendly games is Cleveland versus Atlanta in Atlanta. So that is one interesting game that's going to come to us. Two burgeoning rugby league teams in America playing against each other. I hope there's more coming, because that'll be so interesting to see these boys go at it and find out what they're made of. If they're well, it's a good way to gauge where they're at and what they can do to take those steps a little bit further. I wish I was in Atlanta now. I have family over there. I'm going to tell them about it. I hope that there'll be some social media broadcast of these games, or if not, some social media updates, so that we can keep on with all the games. We'll hear more as it comes out, but such good news for Rugby League that they have got a sponsor. I know the Americans like to have one kit supplier for the entire rosters of every single club, and I'll be looking on the club shops on Macron as well to see what sort of, well, I know the styles of kits that'll be coming out, because they'll have the hero logo over the left shoulder and usually on the arms as well, but they had quality on the sports shirts. They've got better over the years, compared to when, from my experience, the soccer team, Bolton Wanderers, had a lower quality shirt, but it was a nice looking shirt. There's one thing that will be guaranteed: the shirts will look really good. For all the new craziness from North American Rugby League, we are now going to look through the results that have come in from the Women's Rugby League Super League in the UK, as there was a full list of fixtures. First of all, I need to mention that after their initial win at the beginning of the season against the Army, the London Broncos made it 2 wins from 2 with a 24 points to 16 win at the home of Betfred Tigers. Betfred playing their first ever game in the Women's Super League, put up a good fight, but eventually came out 24-16 on the wrong end of a 24-16 result. But it shows that if they can get close to the London Broncos in terms of quality and physical attributes, the Army and Bedford will be up in the running for honours in the Betfred's Women's Super League South. Next we go on to the Gloucestershire Golden Ferns versus the Cardiff Demons Rugby League. I must admit this was a little bit of a blowout, as Golden Ferns were facing a Cardiff Demons side which fielded 8 of the Welsh team that played England in Warrington last weekend, and also a couple on the bench. The Golden Ferns' second outing was going to be a difficult task. The Demons played some excellent rugby league and ran in 17 tries, but ignoring the scoreline, the Ferns had plenty to be pleased about after the second step on their long road. There were numerous improvements from their 32 points to 10 win over the Cornish Rebels. They made far fewer mistakes in possession, and their discipline was excellent despite steadily mounting total that was going against them, conceding only 2 penalties throughout the game. Ella Dawkins was the try scorer for the Golden Ferns, and Vicky Mansell converted the resulting try. For the Demons, it turned out to be a one-sided affair, with Fionn Lewis, who was number 9 for the Wales side during their international game, scoring a total of 28 points with 10 kicks and 2 goals. There was 4 tries for Loie Narket, who also played centre in that game, and 4 tries for our captain and Wales captain Shawnee Davis. Must make clear that Ellery Michaels and also Kim Bowler also scored 2 tries apiece, with Sarangoff Walters, Charlie Mundy and Molly Reardon scoring a try apiece. The final score of the game was 88 points to 6, but as it is a step further up the ladder that the Golden Ferns will have to go to. But Cardiff might be one, if Cardiff are to win the league, their conference of the league, shall we say, then it is going to be a great playoffs with them, the Army, London Broncos, and one other from the Western Conference. So, as of this recording, the 4th of July, York City Knights and Ladies were supposed to play Bradford Bulls Women, but has been cancelled, with the Knights being awarded 24-0 victory. Bradford advised the RFL due to a number of injuries and selections issues. They were unable to field a team for the match, which was scheduled to be played as a double-header at the state-of-the-art LNER Community Stadium alongside the men's Knights team. As a club, York City Knights understand a number of our fans will be disappointed at not being able to see our ladies team in action on Sunday. We are, however, planning double headers in the near future. The team will next be in action against Warrington Wolves next weekend. That was a statement from the York City Knights ladies website, which is the same as the men's, but Bradford have said we can't field the team, so we'll accept the repercussions. It's a shame, but that's how it is at the moment, and people have commitments and also injuries are an issue. With that, we now turn our attentions to the Featherstone playing host to the Wigan Warriors. I apologise to Featherstone fans for getting the two logos the wrong way around, as it was the first. Do you know what? For that mistake, because Featherstone ladies were at home, their logo will go first. In this contested game, there was many a high point for Featherstone Rovers, as they were great in the wrestle for most of the game. It was just unfortunate that they came against a in-form Wigan side. Tries from Jessica Courtman and Chloe Billington set the Featherstone Rovers team's scoring alight, with a conversion from Katie Hepworth for 10 points for the Featherstone team. Unfortunately for Featherstone, Wigan were in form, as they made it 5 wins from 5 to make the scoreline 36 points to 10, with 2 tries from Anna Mary Davis, and individual tries from Leah Derbyshire, Amy Broadman, Rachel Thompson, Paige Costello and Lucy Bagley. Boardman actually kicked 2 goals from her 8 attempts at goal, but it was enough for Wigan to get over the line for the victory. Now we're going to have a look at Wakefield playing host to the Huddersfield Giants. In this game, it started off for the first 15 minutes all Wakefield, and that's after a 7th minute try for Brooke Price for Wakefield, which unfortunately wasn't converted by Lisa Taylor. As I mentioned, the 15th minute, Huddersfield raced the length of the field and crossed through Isabel Northrup, and Francesca Townsend added the 2. Liv Whitehead, who had started the game so brilliantly, found some space out wide to cross for Trinity. Taylor missed the conversion on this attempt as well. Huddersfield did find a gap on the 30th minute in the Trinity defence. Despite the efforts from Abby Price, winger Amelia Brown grounded the ball. Townend again added the 2. Just before half-time, Whitehead danced through the Giants' defence to score a second of the afternoon. This time Taylor was on target with the kick. Straight from the restart though, just from that try, again knocking on half-time, Trinity coughed up possession and Emmy Manning raced away to score for Huddersfield, with Townend adding the extras. Huddersfield extended the lead at the start of the second half, as Amelia Brown crossed for her second. Unfortunately, this time Huddersfield weren't able to add the extras. It was made 28 points to 14 on the 55th minute, as it was a hat-trick for Amelia Brown, and Huddersfield now have a 3-score lead, which was extended to 40 points before the full-time whistle. It was a dominant second half by Huddersfield, unfortunately for Wakefield, but it was great offensive play and opportunism by the Giants, who have started to come on a little bit better now that they're getting into the second half of their domestic season. They're in the first year, Huddersfield, because they came up with Warrington at the beginning of last year. But they were the slower of the two to start the progression. They're hitting their straps now. It's whether or not they're going to go well when they face the top end teams like Leeds, St Helens in the reverse fixtures. But yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting on how things go. I think they'll be happy with a mid-table finish at this point, Huddersfield. On the Wakefield front, they're going to go, despite starting the first half very, very well and playing very well through the first 30 minutes, there is still a little bit of lacking in there. Maybe some additions in the team and a few more coaches, things like that. You never know. They might make another crack at it next year. I hope that they do, because the stronger the teams get, the stronger the leagues get. So next we have a look at Leeds' win against the Warrington Wolves at the Mobile Rocket Stadium, which used to be the Bellevue Stadium. Over the weekend, as Leeds scored 12 tries in the Betfred Women's Super League, and they maintained their spot as 100% points, and also leaders at the top of the Betfred Women's Super League North. Winger Tara Moxon registered 4 of those tries, and Frank Goldthrop added 2 late on, while skipper Courtney Winfield Hill kicked 4 conversions. Hannah Butcher was the first to cross in the first 5th minute, followed by debutant Eloise Haywood and then Moxon to score. Kira Bennett scored the 4th try on 21st minute before a double from Moxon gave her a hat-trick and saw Leeds head 28-0 up at the break. Ola McCallion even, Caitlin Beavers, Moxon and Amy Stavely added efforts after the interval, with Goldthrop then rounded things off with a brace as the reigning champions made it 5 wins from 5 this term. So even though the Warrington side were getting better and better, it just shows that there are goals in class still there. Maybe Warrington were without some of their key players, don't know, as I don't have the team sheets in front of me, but they were showing some improvements as the games were going on, winning quite a few games. We'll see what sort of standard they are when Warrington play York next week, and if they're up there again, put in a great effort against the York side with all those signings, that big signings and internationals that York have. We could call this Leeds result a blip. So the final game of the weekend for the Women's Super League was the Castleford Tigers playing host to the St Helens side at Odsal in Bradford, as this was the live game for the Women's Super League on Twitch, which is shown every Monday night, kicking off at 7:30 PM. St Helens earned their first league victory since their memorable Betfred Challenge Cup winning performance last month, with a 6 points to 38 points victory over the Castleford Tigers at Bradford's Odsal Stadium. England quartets Kerry Roberts, Emily Rudge, Amy Hardcastle and Chantal Crowell were all on the score sheet a week on from their international displays against Wales. Danny Bush also found a way over for Derek Hardman's side. Castleford battled hard despite the scoreline, and Hayley Swan's try, a real highlight of the evening. Yeah, it was a great running from the fullback. The Georgia Roach, who was playing standoff at the beginning and then moved down to fullback after a bad injury to one of the Castleford players, and she was holding on the ball, waiting for someone to run the perfect line, and she came in and Hayley Swan came in off the arc and to round the fullback as well from 20 metres out to score just right to the sticks. It was a great try for Castleford, but it was their only points on the board. Roberts opened the scoring for St Helens inside the opening 5 minutes before Bush capitalised on a Castleford error to further Saints' lead. The former Army Rugby League player Roberts went over for her second of the evening after England captain Rudge barged her way over from close range. St Helens' dominance continued after the break as Rudge scored her second of the game. Castleford began to apply pressure to the St Helens line, finally managing to get over as Swan slid through the defensive line. However, it proved to be a mere consolation as Hardcastle and Crowell both went over to pull away and eventually ensured the Saints ran out 6 points to 38 winners. Recent England debutant Beth Stott was named player of the match as voted by commentator and fellow St Helens former St Helens halfback Leon Price. So it was a fun old game, to be fair. I really do hope that the Castleford girl who had the bad knee injury in the first half isn't as bad as first feared. She went barreling into two with the ball, running full whack like a proper run, going into the Saints defensive line. But the Saints players stood up and started pushing her back at a decent pace. Castleford player tried to regain her footing, and the knee jarred the wrong way, her left knee. So if it's anything like the Saints halfback in the Challenge Cup final game, it's going to be it bent that way, shall we say that. Can't remember that lady's name, I apologise. But we wish the best to the Castleford player, and hopefully she won't be out for too long and it's not as bad as first feared. And finally tonight we have a look at the Warrington Wolves hosting the Leeds Rhinos on Monday the 5th of July at the Halliwell-Jones Stadium. Leeds Rhinos made it 4 wins on the bounce in the Betfred Super League, whilst ending Warrington Wolves' 6-game winning run with a hard-fought 16 points to 22 victory at the Halliwell-Jones Stadium. Robert Louis opened the scoring for Leeds, climbing highs for a kick and outpowering the Wolves defenders to go over. However, Warrington soon hit back through Danny Walker and with Stephen Rashford's conversion levelling the scores. But Leeds would enjoy the better of proceedings, leading into half-time. Ash Hanley was pivotal, making a break down the flank before finding Alex Mellor in support before the England winger then distanced his way through the Warrington defence to add his own name to the score sheet. Rhys Martin notched a penalty goal just before half-time, which gave the visitors a 6 points to 20 lead. The Papua New Guinea international was on hand with the boot after the interval to further the lead once more, 22 points to 6 going in for Leeds. With 10 minutes remaining, Liam Sutcliffe was sent to the sin bin, and Warrington immediately took advantage through Josh Chinley. As the final hooter approached, Robert Louis was sent to the sin bin as well, with Leeds down to 11 men going into the final few minutes and for the rest of the game for a professional foul right under the sticks. And a few plays later, Blake Austin kicked to the corner for Charnley to score to make it 14 points to 12. Stefan Ratchford kicked over the goal to 16 points to 22 with less than a minute on the board. Despite the best efforts, Warrington could not find the try to level the scores, and Leeds earned their fourth consecutive victory. So it was a good game, to be fair. A lot of action. It had everything: sin binnings, decent tries, some great play. Warrington were depleted in the halves, even though they had Rashford and Blake there. There was no Gareth Widdop. But Leeds were also depleted in the halves as well, because Robert Louis, who's only done the captain's run and a training session since the last game, came to the fore with his tries today. Yes, he got sin binned at the end, which was a blot on his copybook. But if all the rumours are right and he's retiring at the end of the season, he's a good backup to the half-backs from now to the end of the season for Leeds. Well, that's it for another video, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe, share the video worldwide, and help grow Rugby League. I can't do it without you, and I hope you guys understand how precious you are to all of us. In the meantime, all the best. Remember, it's just for fun. But thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.